Now I would like to share one of the main components to the practice of Hopeology, especially when it relates to imagining hope, and that is taking successful hope breaks. They will change your life. I'm a living witness, and there are many others who have testified to how taking these hope breaks really made a difference when it comes to staying hopeful and getting back to that hopeful place, because we all go through things that will take us away from hope. Okay, and taking these hope breaks are a way to course correct us throughout the day. So let's look at the steps to taking successful hope breaks. Here are the steps to taking successful hope breaks. Number one, schedule hope breaks into your normal routine in 5-minute increments. I cannot emphasize enough the need to schedule the hope breaks, especially when you first get started. And what I would suggest is to do like we did when we first got started. And when I say we, I'm talking about the team of Mothers in Crisis that went about putting this together, and not only putting it together, but volunteering to actually do the exercises to make sure that they work and that they are something that we can do. So we were the first guinea pigs. And that's why the word schedule is so very important, because hope breaks must be intentional. They're not just going to happen. And it's not just whenever you're going through maybe a moment or period of anxiety, but if you schedule them and you have them regularly in your everyday life, every day, then you won't need them as much. And in other words, you won't have as much anxiety because you've already taken that time to have a hope break. We encourage people all the time, everywhere, to schedule a little hope into your day. And taking hope breaks are one of the ways that we do that. Now, the next thing that we see here is that 5-minute increments, 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. We can stop for 5 minutes. You can go and have a bathroom break for 5 minutes and, nobody's even the wiser. So 5 minutes is really all you need. And it's amazing how much you can accomplish in 5 minutes. So once you schedule your hope breaks into your normal routine in 5-minute increments, and what I would suggest, what I did and what really makes the difference is by scheduling one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then one in the evening. And so that's a total of 15 minutes a day. So once you schedule it and say the alarm goes off on your phone or your watch or wherever, ding, 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 then you go, and number two, find a quiet place. And that's so very important, to find a quiet place. And now I would like to just take a little time and show you a clip of my quiet place. And that is the Garden of Hope, where I love just to take a break from work and walk out there and just sit down and take a hope break. I want to show you the Garden of Hope. And this is one of my favorite places. As I'm walking into the garden, the Garden of Hope is one of my favorite places to take a hope break, because it is just such a serene and peaceful environment. And there are several symbols of hope, as we can see here. We talked about the wind chimes and the sound of the wind chimes, and they are so beautiful as they're blowing in the wind, and as we can hear the sound, as well as we've talked about the sound of water and how that's such a beautiful, beautiful way to take a hope break is by sitting by water, listening to running water. And this is one of the ways that I take my hope break, where I'll come and I have the bench placed there, and I'll just sit down and go through the exercise. The first thing, taking the deep breaths, and then thinking of the best case scenario, and then making the affirmation, my blood pressure is going down. God is opening doors for the practice of Hopeology to go forth all around the world. I pray that you've enjoyed that clip, because it really, really makes a difference if you can go out in nature. But it doesn't matter if it's in your home, in your bedroom, maybe your office, but you want to get away from just the normal place, maybe the bathroom. I've heard people say, I've had to go in the bathroom, especially if you have young kids, because they follow you everywhere. So just find that quiet place. And once you get there, number 3, take 5 to 10 deep breaths. And that's where you breathe all the way in until you feel your lungs. And then you breathe all the way out until you release all of the air all the way down to your toes. And you do that for about 5 to 10 times. It just depends. And really you can just do it slow, because that really makes the difference. Number 4, after you take the deep breaths, you think about the good things that are happening. Instead of worst case scenarios, think of the best case scenarios. With this particular step, as a part of our Imagining Hope, this is a good time to vision or envision, where you begin to see those things that you desire to come to pass, or you are hoping for and believing will happen in your life, and just begin to see it coming to pass, whatever that is. And especially if you're going through something where there's a little anxiety, and you're wondering, okay, is it going to work out? Is it going to be all right? Well, this is really good, number 4, because see it in your mind's eye. See it happening. See it working out. See things coming together. You getting that blessing that you've been waiting on in whatever form it is. Think about the good things that are happening and the good things that you would like to see happen in your life, and actually see them, envision them in your mind's eye. Sometimes it's better to just close your eyes so that you can see. And but if you're in nature, sometimes just looking out at the water or in some beautiful scenery, then that'll work too. Number 5, after you see the scenario and you see things changing for the better, and you see that thing that you've been believing for and hoping for coming to pass, make an affirmation and speak it out loud. So now we're pulling in the language of hope and our ability to speak hope. So you see how we're utilizing everything that we've already learned. We're utilizing how to think hope and speak hope and imagine hope, and we're even using some of the hope symbolism, because that's how the practice of Hopeology comes all together. So you make that affirmation. For example, say you've been looking for another opening or opportunity, for whatever the case may be, but you need another opportunity to come your way. So after you see it, then you begin to speak it, and you say, it's going to happen. It will happen. I see myself getting that blessing. There's a blessing with my name on it. And you just begin to speak over the thing that you've just envisioned. And then number 6, the last thing is just to repeat it as often as needed. That means you're going to take as many hope breaks as you need, and you're going to go through the steps with every component that's a part of it. And as we can see, the scheduling it, the finding the quiet place, the breathing, which is so important, the thinking about the good things and envisioning the best case scenario, speaking and making the affirmation, and then doing it as often as you need to. I want to encourage you. Taking hope breaks can make a big difference in your life. Taking time out for hope will make all the difference in the world. And once you start taking the hope breaks, you may slack off for a period of time, but then you'll see yourself maybe getting a little bit more anxious about things or situations that's happening, and then you can always pick them up again. You can pick it back up. And as a matter of fact, we have a postcard about how to take a hope break, and on the back we have the steps, and I keep them peppered about my environment. And sometimes when I'm not even thinking about a hope break, maybe I hadn't been taking any for a while, and then I'll see this, it's like, oh yeah, take a hope break. And it really helps you to stay focused, and it helps you to center your breathing and just get you back into the place where you need to be, and that's the hopeful place. So have successful hope breaks and watch your hope level rise.